In a place called Moonvale, color lived loudly. The river shimmered like a spilled potion, and the trees hummed melodies when the wind passed. It was a valley alive with magic, and at its heart was a young woman named Beauty. Now, her name wasn't just for her gentle face. Beauty carried a rare softness inside her, a quiet strength that could soothe storms and mend the oldest quarrels. Her mother used to say she saw people the way light sees water, bending, patient, always finding a way through. Then, one morning, Moonvale awoke to a world drained of its magic. The sky was a muted gray, the once sparkling river had gone flat and dull, and the whispering oak, the ancient tree that had guided generations, stood stiff and silent. The villagers huddled in worried clusters, whispering of angry spirits or the changing seasons. But Beauty felt something else. It was in a natural quiet, as if life itself had been siphoned away. She knew she couldn't just wait for answers. Packing a small satchel with herbs, a lantern, and her mother's old scarf, she prepared to leave. Her father grabbed her shoulders gently. "You don't have to do this alone, Beauty," he said, his voice thick with concern. "I know," she replied softly, "but I feel like I'm meant to." He studied her face, seeing the resolve in her eyes, and nodded. "Then be careful. Curiosity saves the world, but it also gets people into trouble." Beauty offered a small, brave smile. Trouble usually needs kindness more than fear. With that, she began the long walk into Moonvale Forest. The forest, normally a place of whispers, rustling creatures, and glowing lights, was eerily asleep. No birds sang, no fireflies flickered. The silence was heavy, pressing in on her from all sides. It was then that she heard it, a deep, grating rumble, like immense rocks grinding together. A shadow shifted between the tall, silent trees. Stepping into a clearing, a massive creature from ancient stories emerged, the guardian beast. Its mane shimmered with a faint silver light, and its horns glowed with soft, embedded crystals. Its eyes were ancient, holding the weight of worlds that had risen and fallen. "Human," the beast growled, its breath warm like smoke. "Turn back. The Philosopher's Stone is not for you." Any other person would have fled, but Beauty held her ground, swallowing her fear. "I'm not here for power," she said, her voice steady. "Moonvale is losing its magic. I just want to understand why." The beast tilted its enormous head, surprised by her calm audacity. "Many have claimed pure intentions," it rumbled. "All of them failed when faced with the stone's truth." Beauty took a slow, deliberate breath. "Then let me try to pass that truth." A long, heavy silence hung in the air. Finally, the beast turned and began walking deeper into the woods. "Follow," it said over its shoulder, "if your courage is more than just decoration." Beauty followed without hesitation. They walked until they reached a mountainside, its face cracked with glowing veins of crystal. Hidden behind a curtain of thick, ancient vines was the mouth of a cave, pulsing with a faint, welcoming light. As they entered, the beast lowered its head in a gesture of respect. Beauty felt a warm hum rise through the soles of her feet, a vibration that seemed to resonate with her very soul. Inside, the crystal cavern was breathtaking. Towering pillars of luminous stone reached for the ceiling, while floating gems pulsed in time with her breath. The walls were lined with mirrors, but they didn't reflect her face. They reflected her heart. One mirror showed her comforting small children after a terrifying storm. Another, however, revealed her deepest doubts, the quiet moments she wondered if kindness was truly enough in a world that so often rewarded selfishness. "You see your light," the beast's voice echoed in the cavern, "but also your cracks. That is good. Only honest hearts can walk safely here." Beauty nodded, her chest tightening at the sight of her own vulnerabilities laid bare. At the very heart of the cavern, floating serenely above a simple stone pedestal, was the Philosopher's Stone. It wasn't large or grand. It pulsed gently, like a living heartbeat, warm, steady, and perfectly balanced. Its glow felt familiar, like the comfort of a mother's embrace. But the cavern wasn't empty. Standing before the stone was a man in torn robes, his face ashen with desperation. Beauty recognized him from fright and whispers Malachar, a once brilliant sorcerer now feared for his obsession with impossible magic. "Stay back," Malachar hissed, his eyes flashing with a wild, cornered light. "This time, the stone will answer me." The guardian beast let out a deafening roar that shook the crystals. "You again? You drained the magic from the valley to power your spell, fool." Beauty's heart dropped. So it wasn't a curse or a natural cycle. The valley's fading magic was a direct result of this sorcerer's desperation. But instead of fear or anger, a wave of empathy washed over her. She took a step forward, her movements surprisingly gentle. "Why?" she asked, her voice soft but clear. Malachar stiffened, caught off guard by her tone. "Because I am fading," he confessed, his voice cracking. "My magic, my life, it's all slipping away. Without the stone, there will be nothing left of me. I refuse to just disappear." In that moment, Beauty didn't see a villain. She saw a lonely, frightened man terrified of his own end. "You're draining life to escape death," she said, her words resonating with the quiet truth of the cavern. "But stealing magic from others won't save you. It will only destroy everyone else, and eventually, you with them." Malachar trembled, a war of emotions raging behind his eyes. "I don't want to be forgotten," he whispered, the words barely audible. "You won't be," Beauty promised, her voice a soothing balm. "But you must let the valley breathe again." As she spoke, the philosopher's stone pulsed brighter, responding not to Malachar's desperate power, but to the simple, honest truth in her words. She reached out and placed a hand on his arm. "Let the stone restore the balance. Not for you alone, but for all of us." At her touch, he finally broke. Tears streamed down his tired face as he reached a trembling hand toward the stone, his fingers brushing against its surface beside hers. The moment they both touched it, a warm, healing explosion of light surged outward. It wasn't blinding or violent, it was like a sunrise filling the cavern. The light washed over the crystals, making them shine with renewed life. For outside, across the entire valley, Moonvale was transformed. The river regained its brilliant shimmer, the whispering oak took a deep, rustling breath, and vibrant color returned to every flower and leaf. The valley exhaled, restored. When the light finally faded, Malachar collapsed to the ground, weakened, but alive. Beauty knelt beside him. "See," she said gently. "You didn't disappear. You just stopped running from yourself." The guardian beast, who had watched everything unfold, bowed its massive head in a display of profound respect. "In all the centuries I have guarded this place," it said, its voice filled with awe, "no human has ever faced the stone with such balance. The valley owes you its breath." Beauty blushed. "I didn't do it alone." When she returned to Moonvale, the villagers greeted her with a flood of tears, joyful laughter, and heartfelt embraces. She didn't speak of great battles or powerful sorcery. She told them only the truth that the stone had helped restore the balance, but the real magic, the real change, had come from courage, honesty, and compassion. From that day forward, whenever shadows of doubt or fear fell upon Moonvale, the people remembered the girl who saved their home. They remembered that she did it not with spells or power, but with a simple, inner beauty, the kind that has the strength to light up even the darkest of places. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tales that touch the heart.